promoting a healthy environment. It's the air we breathe. Clean, safe water. Responsible management of our natural resources. We protect and restore for a sustainable future. Environment matters.
Just a blessing for McDowell County.
The DEP partners with the local solid waste authority as county residents drop off tons of trash at the first of 3 free cleanup events in McDowell County. Plus,
these are the streets that we run on every day, and so if we can do something small like this to beautify our area, why not?
a group of runners takes to the streets of Huntington to take part in the Great American Cleanup Run, combining exercise with environmental stewardship. Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Environment Matters. I'm Jake Glantz. A massive effort is underway in McDowell County to rid the area of illegally dumped trash. The DEP's Brianna Hickman joins us now with the first phase of what's expected to be a long-term effort throughout the county.
Jake, in just the first of 3 scheduled cleanup events, residents dropped off enough trash to fill half a dozen roll-off dumpsters, and crews say that's just beginning to scratch the surface. They came by truck, hauling trailers filled to the brim with all sorts of household trash, from TVs to toys to unwanted tires, 24 tons worth in all, along with more than 600 used tires. That's trash that's now headed for proper disposal in a landfill instead of finding its way into area creeks, over hillsides, and dropped in illegal dumps up remote hollows.
We've opened up the ability for folks to bring their trash and tires in at no charge to get their communities, yards, and streets and streams cleaned up. Huge success. This is a team effort. We've teamed up with the Solid Waste Authority for McDowell County Commission. The landfill's a partner. The local natural resource police officers have been involved. We teamed up with our DEP environmental enforcement crew and some state police and county sheriff's deputies. We went on a little ticket writing campaign a few weeks ago and gave warnings to some of the worst violators of trash regulations and laws, and they will get out of those warnings without paying a fine if they clean their yards up and utilize either this event or a regular landfill.
But whatever the reason, the traffic stayed steady all afternoon, and while 24 tons of trash may sound like a lot, it's an improvement over some previous years.
Well, I'm a litter officer at the solid waste, so my job is trying to patrol and contain the litter in the county, and this is a tremendous help for us. When I started, which was in 1997, we had over 500 open dumps in the county. We could throw a dart at the map and have a cleanup wherever the dart landed, and now we have to combine sites to make a good cleanup, so it's been a great help.
As word of the cleanup spread, neighbors began helping neighbors, hauling loads of trash for those who didn't have any way to get theirs to the drop-off site.
Oh man, I think it's fantastic. It's better than finding it up these roads over the hill.
There's definitely a need for a community-led event to clean things up. A lot of folks really appreciate the opportunity to get their garages cleaned out, their back porches. So yeah, it was really needed. The people really appreciate it, and just a blessing for McDowell County. People really appreciate it.
This is just the beginning of a partnership between the DEP, county officials, and community leaders to improve conditions in McDowell County. Projects include additional trash pickups, the demolition and removal of dilapidated structures, and improvements to drinking water and wastewater infrastructure. Jake, as they say, stay tuned. For Environment Matters, I'm Brianna Hickman.
Thank you, Brianna. We'll be watching. The DEP recently held a series of community meetings in McDowell and Mingo counties to discuss the development of total maximum daily loads, or TMDLs, for the Tug Fork watershed. A TMDL is a plan of action used to clean up streams that do not meet water quality standards. The DEP recently awarded more than $85,000 in REAP recycling grants to 31 different cities, municipalities, and county solid waste authorities. The awards range from a little over $1,000 to $5,000 and will go to help pay for things like recycling bins, educational materials, and landfill fees for community cleanup events, as well as to help pay for the demolition and removal of dilapidated and abandoned buildings. The money comes from civil penalties for litter violators and state agency facility recycling revenue. A list of the 2019 grant recipients is available on our website, dep.wv.gov. West Virginia University President Gordon Gee recently spoke at a leadership conference for DEP staff. He talked about the future of the state and how education will play a part.
So I remind everyone that this is a state that has every problem in America. We have raced to the bottom. So the question is, how do we turn that around? And I think that's the blessing of what you're doing and what I'm doing, is the fact that I think that there's never been a better time in the state's history in which we can actually make significant changes. This state is large enough to have every problem you can possibly imagine, and it's small enough to be able to actually create a living learning laboratory, a petri dish, if you will, to really solve those problems. The only thing that is needed is not money, but it's needed. We need courage, and we need capacity to change, and we need a willingness to do that.
Dr. Gee also reminded everyone that learning was a lifelong pursuit and that while a college education isn't right for everyone, at least some form of post-secondary training is necessary to thrive in today's economy. Dr. Gee says of the millions of jobs created in this country since 2008, the bottom of the Great Recession, only a small fraction require only a high school education or less, and that the future of West Virginia depended on an educated workforce. And speaking of WVU, here's an update to a story we first told you about back in January. A project to extract rare earth elements from acid mine drainage sludge has moved to the pilot plan stage. According to a news release from the university, the facility is phase 2 of the project, which will look to see if the methods developed by researchers can be expanded to an industrial scale. The DEP is working with the university to provide feedstock for the facility from the treatment plant of a nearby mine reclamation project. Rare earth elements aren't all that rare in the Earth's crust, but they don't generally occur in large concentrations, making extraction difficult and expensive. The treatment process for acid mine drainage, a very common problem in West Virginia unfortunately, actually helps concentrate rare earths in the treatment sludge.
We've done a survey looking at how much of this sludge is available on the surface around the Appalachians, and we're finding we've gotten a fairly good idea how much is out there, how many tons are sitting out there in piles. In the case of the Omega mine here, DEP is putting their sludge in these geotubes. And these geotubes are great for us because now you've got a way of getting the water out, or a lot of the water out, and you've got them in a position now where they can be excavated later on if we find them valuable and take that material off to market. A single geotube from this property, we've analyzed this sludge quite a number of times, and a single geotube has about $11,000 worth of rare earths in it, for example. And I think the number of geotubes up there right now gives you a total value sitting up on the property of about $175,000 worth of rare earths right there.
Rare earth elements are used in all sorts of high-tech devices like smartphones, computer memory chips, and night vision goggles. They're also used to create high-strength alloys in products ranging from aluminum bats to aircraft wings. We'll check out the project and see how it has the potential to create huge economic boom for the state in an upcoming episode of Environment Matters. It's a fitness trend that combines running with helping the environment. The DEP's Liz McCown joins us now with the details.
Jake, don't let the funny name fool you. These runners are serious about cleaning up their city. It's called plugging.
I think it's a Swedish word. It's picking up litter while you're running. So we're out here and we had 20 or 25 people and we've assigned them all locations in Huntington. So people are going to go out and get a run in and clean the streets.
And clean they did. In just 45 minutes, the runners gathered up dozens of bags of litter.
Well, actually, my friend Diana messaged me on Facebook, and she said that that Roberts was doing a community cleanup today. So I thought, well, that's the perfect way to try to support and help my community. So we're just out here just picking up trash and doing the best we can.
The event, part of the Great American Cleanup Run, was hosted in Huntington by Roberts Running Store. It's sponsored by the shoe company Saucony in partnership with Keep America Beautiful.
I think this will certainly plant the seed. You know, it's something you can certainly do on your own, in your neighborhood, on the street that you live on. You know, we always get out and we walk, we run, we walk our dogs, and, you know, to pick up some trash along the way, you know, is fairly easy to do. So, yeah, you know, hopefully we'll have some folks out there that see us running and crossing streets and running down alleys, and we've got trash bags full of trash. I think that will be a sight that people will see and certainly remember.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much I found. This area kind of seems to be a little bit of a dump. No pun intended. But yeah, there was a significant amount of trash in this area, and we assigned ourselves going towards 20th Street, but we saw this area and we thought, well, this area needs a lot more love, I think, right now. So
this isn't the first time volunteers have held a cleanup run, and organizers hope it becomes a regular part of the running scene in Huntington.
We did it in June as part of Global Running Day. So yeah, we did it once and it was a huge success. Like, we picked up tons of garbage, people had a lot of fun, so we thought, why not, let's do it again, but on a bigger scale, see what we can do. These are the streets that we run on every day, and so if we can do something small like this to beautify our area, why not?
Jake, Roberts also hosted a cleanup run at their Charleston location. It was one of 39 events held nationwide as part of the Great American Cleanup Run. For Environment Matters, I'm Liz McCown.
Thank you, Liz. The promotion also helped raise money for Keep America Beautiful. For more information about Keep America Beautiful and some things you can do locally to help the planet, check out their website, kab.org. It's been a summer tradition for nearly 4 decades, the DEP's Junior Conservation Camp. It began in 1980 as a program of the West Virginia DNR, but is now administered by the DEP's Youth Environmental Program. Nearly 150 students aged 11 to 14 from more than 25 counties across the state spent a week at Cedar Lakes Conference Center in Jackson County. Students learned fishing, canoeing, wilderness first aid, and other outdoors lessons. DNR conservation officers also taught ATV and side-by-side safety, and DNR wildlife experts taught campers about the effort to protect black bears. For more information about the DEP's Youth Environmental Program, visit our website, dep.wv.gov. When it comes to Whitewater, the New and the Gauley are justifiably famous for their pulse-pounding rapids. Some folks, however, prefer a more relaxing flow down a slow-moving stream, maybe even getting in a little fishing. That's why the sport of flatwater paddling is rapidly gaining popularity. The DEP's Mike Huff tells us how cleanup efforts on 2 area streams have helped make that happen.
It was a perfect day for a paddle. Here at Barbersville Park, dozens of kayakers and canoeists took part in the inaugural Guyandotte River Regatta and Float. Barbersville was one of 5 put-in locations for the event, along with Gilbert, Mullins, Logan, and Branchland. The event was organized by the Guyandotte Water Trail Alliance and the National Coal Heritage Area Authority. The trail opened officially in 2017 and offers more than 24 access points along its 166-mile length.
Oh, I think it's great. I think we have a lot of access and a lot of waterways here in the area, and we really should make the most of them.
It took a lot of hard work by a lot of people to help get the Guyandotte into this good a shape. This was the Guyandotte not that long ago, before a year-long cleanup effort by the DEP and the Human Resource Development Foundation removed more than 600 tons of debris, 3,500 tires, and more than 53,000 bags of trash. It's been a similar effort in the Coal River watershed. Working with volunteers and contractors, the DEP has helped remove tons of trash and thousands of illegally discarded tires from the river and many of its tributaries. Given the state's rugged terrain, that's sometimes easier said than done.
It's a lot of work getting tires out of the river anyhow, because they have to be handled so many times. You know, by the time you hook them on the winch in the river, you bring them up here and you put them on a trailer, then you take them to the other place and they have to be loaded on another trailer before we can take them to get them disposed of. So, you know, tire collections out of the river are really labor intensive.
But that hard work seems to be paying off in both the Coal and Guyandotte River watersheds.
I'm hoping that it's just the sins of the past, that the tires are in this river that have been in here for years, and we're trying to catch up with them. Most of these tires we're getting out of here are really, really old. So we can really hope that people aren't still throwing them in, and we're making progress, and this has become a real resource now. People are kayaking on these rivers and enjoying them, and the structures that the DEP put in, you know, along these rivers has changed this river and made it like it used to be.
Back on the Guyandotte, organizers hope that a cleaner river and improved access will help increase tourism to the area. And if this recent event is any indication, they have reason to be hopeful.
Well, my daughter has done this in the past, so two of my daughters and myself decided that we're just going to go on a little outing today, leave the husbands behind and go have fun. I think it's a great idea. Even the lakes, the streams, flat water paddling is a lot of fun, great exercise, get to be outdoors, so I think it's a great idea.
In Barbersville, I'm Mike Huff for Environment Matters.
Since the cleanup work began, both watersheds are seeing an increase in the number of recreational paddlers using the rivers. If you'd like to find out more, here are a couple useful websites. For more information on the Coal River, visit coalriverwatertrail.org. And for more information about recreational opportunities on the Guyandotte, visit guyandottwatertrail.com. Both sites offer information about access points, river flow information, community events, and a little about the history of the region. This year's annual Great Kanawha River Cleanup is set for Saturday, September 8th. There are several locations planned for this year's cleanup all along the river, from Gully Bridge to Point Pleasant. The DEP provides gloves, trash bags, and litter grabbers for volunteers and arranges for the trash to be hauled off for proper disposal. As with many waterways, single-use plastics, things like bags, cups, and drink bottles, make up a lot of what volunteers generally find during the cleanups. Plastics can take years, even centuries, to break down in the environment and are harmful to fish, waterfowl, and other aquatic life, so it's important to keep them out of the environment. Better to recycle whenever possible or find alternatives that are reusable. Unfortunately, we only recover about 10% of all the plastic that we generate. The rest ends up in landfills, or worse yet, in the environment. You can find out more about this year's Kanawha River Sweep by visiting the events section of our website, dep.wv.gov. It was another successful year for the Ohio River Sweep. This is video from Huntington, one of more than 150 cleanup sites along 3,000 miles of Ohio River shoreline. The Ohio River Sweep is organized by Orsanco, the Ohio River Valley Water Sanitation Commission, and is the largest one-day cleanup event in the country. The DEP is a partner agency and organizes the cleanups along the West Virginia shoreline. Our friends at Orsanco tell us cleanup efforts handed out around 20,000 trash bags and over 25,000 pairs of gloves to volunteers who took part in this year's sweep. They estimate more than 500 tons of trash was removed from the Ohio and several major tributaries during this event. West Virginia is one of 6 Ohio River states that take part in the annual sweep. Plans for next year's sweep are already underway. It's been nearly half a century since Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin first walked on the moon. Now, one West Virginia city is encouraging its residents to walk to the moon, collectively speaking.
Good afternoon, Jack and Marilee. I'm down on 3rd Avenue, right in front of Huntington's Kitchen, across the street from Pullman Square, and a brand new movement is getting ready to kick off. It's called Greater Huntington Walks, and the idea is to challenge your friends, your family, your co-workers to walk as many miles as it takes to get to the moon.
That's 238,900 miles, or 478 million steps, give or take. The goal of Greater Huntington Walks is for participants cumulatively to reach that milestone by the end of the year. The program is the brainchild of Andy Fisher.
It's kind of crazy, but we wanted a goal that we needed to push ourselves and we needed to make also achievable. So that's what we're doing, and we're launching that today to be able to walk to the moon.
More than 100 people showed up on a recent Tuesday afternoon in downtown Huntington to take part in the official kickoff of the program, a brisk 6-block stroll around the neighborhood. More than 750 people have already signed up to participate. Joining the Greater Huntington Walks movement is easy. All you have to do is go to www.greaterhuntingtonwalks.com and create your own free profile. You can participate individually, create your own team, or join one of more than 80 existing teams and challenge other community-based teams.
We're going to have both scheduled walks, and we also want people to schedule their own and do it, but anytime they do walk, they're going to be able to track. You know, this morning a girl in my office did 12,000 steps, and that's part of it. She did it on her own. So you can do it individually, as a team, group walks, and we're going to schedule some community walks as well.
You also don't need a wireless activity tracker like a Fitbit or similar device, although you can use them as well. You can also use your smartphone's internal pedometer, or you can enter your steps manually through the website or the free Walker Tracker mobile app. The mobile app will also synchronize to your smartphone, so you don't have to manually add your steps together. It can also convert other physical activities like bicycling or swimming into steps.
It's not going to cost anything, and we're giving away free pedometers that you can manually put into the website. So you have all of those things available, but there's no fee, no cost. We're hoping the neighborhood associations get involved. We want to take back the city streets of Huntington, West Virginia, and so get people out and moving.
Huntington has sometimes been portrayed in the national media, some would say unfairly, as the unhealthiest city in America. The Greater Huntington Walks program is looking to help change that perception, one step at a time.
We want to show Huntington in a better light that we are an active, healthy community, and so we want to put that out there for the public to be able to see.
The program is open to Huntington residents as well as anyone in the greater tri-state area who would like to participate. Organizers say they hope to exceed their goal by the end of this year. Prizes and incentives will be given to the individuals and teams who participate in the program and reach different milestones. Once an individual or team hits a milestone, they'll win a prize and be entered into a quarterly drawing for a bigger prize like a Fitbit, Apple Watch, or a gym membership. At the end of the competition, December 31st, the teams with the most steps will be recognized and have donations made in their name to a local charity of their choice. Again, that website is greaterhuntingtonwalks.com. You can also follow the program on Facebook. And speaking of Facebook, you can also follow the DEP there. You can find us at DEPWV. The page combines the Facebook pages of several individual groups within DEP, like the Youth Environmental Program and the Watershed Improvement Branch, and has a whole range of additional materials like news, events, photos, and videos made especially for social media platforms. You can also follow the DEP on Twitter to stay in touch with all that's going on here at the agency. We're at DEPWV. We try to update all of our social media frequently to help you stay up to date. And if you can't catch Environment Matters on one of our broadcast partners, you can always catch us anytime on your connected device on the Environment Matters YouTube channel. You'll find stories and complete episodes from all 7 seasons of the program. You can find us by searching Environment Matters. Be sure and subscribe and never miss an episode. On behalf of all of us here at the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
More than 800 people with one mission, promoting a healthy environment. We are the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection.